Plain fact, I don't think the kid gives a darn about the loss of the award. I think, frankly, he could care less. Game time, long ball time, Daily Coppock time. How you doing, everybody? I'm Chet Coppock. New York Downtown Athletic Club has stripped, no surprise, Reggie Bush of the John W. Heisman. He won several years ago. Hey, why should Reggie care? His family got the big payoff, the big score. He got the big payoff, the big score. He wound up with a fat contract as a first-round draft pick by the New Orleans Saints. But here is what really bothers me about the story. Pete Carroll, the head coach during all of this perversity, and I use the word boldly, perversity, going on at USC, he skates. He's the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, to me, this is absolutely classic. 21 years ago, the Rolling Stones upstaged the Pittsburgh Pirates. How did they do that? Well, the Stones over the years have really been known for three basic elements. Number one, debauchery. Number two, great music. And number three, world-class 24-karat gold clout. So on this date, the Stones wanted to have a concert rehearsal. So what transpired? The stadium authority at Three Rivers by the Allegheny River told the Pittsburgh Pirates it could not work out that day. The Rolling Stones had more clout than the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hey, that tells you the Rolling Stones probably have 3 times more clout than the Chicago Cubs. Meanwhile, we got to get a hold of this guy, Eric, and make him a guest here on the Daily Coppock. I want to talk about a Chicago area guy named Lucas Wright. This guy has got to elevate his levels of Prozac. Several days back, this guy got tagged for going 100 miles per hour in a 50-mile-per-hour zone. That sound bad? Wait, we're going from bad to the fourth stooge. Mr. Wright told the arresting officer the reason he was going so rapidly in his vehicle is because he had just had his car washed, and this was his way of drying his machine. How would you like to be this guy's attorney when he goes to court? My immediate suggestion, elevate your levels of Prozac. Elsewhere, why don't we like this guy? Alex Rodriguez, he's good looking, he porks Madonna, he makes all the dough in the world, and yesterday for the 14th year, he came up with a 100 RBI season with a rib against the Orioles. Hey, Babe Ruth had 13 seasons with 100. Lou Gehrig had 13 seasons with 100. That is record-breaking material. 14 years with 100 RBIs or better. So why don't we like Alex Rodriguez? Is he too handsome for his own good? Hey, you tell me. Over to tennis. I'm so bored with the U.S. Open, I could roll over and take a nap. I could go heavy on the Vicodin. I don't know if Roger Federer is still involved. I don't even know if Roger Federer is in this country. I don't care about tennis. It has no personality. It has no character. It bores me to tears. Why can't this be a girl moaning and screaming about Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe, Martina Navratilova, Chrissy Everett, or the scathingly tough Billie Jean King? Elsewhere, as we continue, this kind of surprised me, and I think there's more to the story than the Pittsburgh Steelers are letting on. Big Ben Roethlisberger, captain of the ball club, captain of the offensive unit the past 2 years, has been stripped to the sea by team vote. Now that's the story given to the public. Here is my feeling. The Rooney family, given the transgressions of Roethlisberger over the past several years, they are furious with the kid. They'd like to dunk him in the Allegheny River. I have an idea that the Rooney family very quietly told the 53-man roster, we would appreciate it if Mr. Roethlisberger, who right now is under a 4-game National Football League suspension for conduct detrimental to the sport, I think Ben, quite frankly, was blackballed. Meanwhile, college odds. Looking ahead toward South Bend on Saturday, this should really be a 7-point ball game. But given the way Denard Robinson played for Michigan against UConn, the Fighting Irish and their brand new head coach, Brian Kelly, just 4-point favorites against the Wolverines on Saturday. Take Notre Dame, lay the wood. Meanwhile, before we get to my best-selling book, Fat Guys Shouldn't Be Dancing at Halftime, on this date back in 1979, ESPN, with an audience of about 7 viewers, debuted in Bristol, Connecticut, giving us such notables as Chris Berman and Stuart Scott. Somehow, society has survived. And hey, if you're going to the Bear game on Sunday, remember, this is a Chicago tradition. You're required to boo Jay Cutler. You're required to boo any Chicago Bear quarterback. Bear quarterbacks really don't feel loved or appreciated in Chicago. They're not meant to. They're like Alderman or they're like Mayor Daley. They're meant to be booed. They're meant to be jeered. So if you're 45 years old and you're taking your 10-year-old son, Tommy, to the Bear game on Sunday, make it a point to advise him to boo Bear quarterback Jay Cutler at least once. All right, you know what? Great song, far and away the biggest commercial success they ever had. I was never really a great fan of the Grateful Dead. Saw them a couple of times, but I was never really, part of the posse that ceaselessly devoted group of fans that just would travel to see the Dead anywhere they were playing, whether it was Yankee Stadium or a sewer, for heaven's sakes. Anyway, we go back in time to 1987. A great little song. The band track produced by the late, great Jerry Garcia. Here is the Grateful Dead with A Touch of Grey. Now, don't forget, we are back again tomorrow on Wednesday. Friday is question and answer day. Mail me your questions on Facebook. We talk about what you want to hear right here on the Daily Coppock. For Eric, Vivian, Kelly, Maggie, Chris, and the remainder of the Green Bay Packers, I'm Coppock. This has been the Daily Coppock. We'll catch you tomorrow. So long, everybody. If you love that song, didn't you?